Welcome everyone to the latest episode of The Testing Room, where three of the gaming industry's best video game consultants who have never actually consulted on a video game bring you new topics each and every week. As always, I'm Alex, aka The Godfather.
Christian, aka Sudo45.
I'm Preston, a.k.a. Funkadelic Jedi.
Yeah, and apparently Poppy wants to be part of our podcast
I know. Poppy's popping up.
Jumping up to say hi.
Popping out.
As always, we kick things off by taking a trip over to Preston's comment corner. So why don't we go ahead and do that now and see what's happening over there?
Yeah, well, Jake did respond as we asked him about his Switch 2 opinions. So, you asked me my opinion on the Switch 2 Direct.
Yep.
There's not much I can say that hasn't already been said. I'm extremely disappointed in the price of the games, no OLED screen, no actual physical games / just downloads. It bums me out. However, I have a hard time staying away from Nintendo. I love Nintendo. I know that I'll cave, which is why they'll continue to do this. I'm a piggy at the trough. I'm just part of the problem. I feel you, Jake. I'm still like sitting there like, but I still want to play F-Zero GX online, but I still want to play the new Donkey Kong. Like, if I happen to have money at some point or another, I will probably still get it. And then I do want to mention that you said no actual physical games. We haven't found out about the just Switch 2 ones yet. It was the big issue was that like the ones like I forget what it was. I think it was like Metroid Prime. Like the Switch 2 version comes with the Switch 1 version, and you have to download the upgrade for it. I think it's mostly for those. We don't know how it's going to look for the new games.
I thought they said
Isn't that insane though? It comes with the
thought,
Switch 1 version, and you have to do the download.
I thought they said on the Treehouse that there were some Switch 2 games that if they're too big, they will be download codes on the cart.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me because they can only fit so much on that cart. But like, we'll see like how big the Switch 2 games are. Because yes, they put the next Call of Duty on the Switch 2. That motherfucker's not fitting on that thing. I'd be surprised if it fit on a fucking system. You're definitely going to buy an SD card just for that, for the storage. Because that's what, I think the last one was over 500 gigabytes.
Yeah, but that was PS5 graphics or whatever. The Switch 2 is not going to be that big.
Yeah, what was the storage on this one?
I think I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
I thought they said it was, I don't remember. They said that it was supposed to be, it was larger than the Switch 1, like on board, but then it's expandable with SD cards, which is the only way you're going to be able to fit it.
I mean, it was only 32 gigs on the Switch 1. Okay.
Yeah, 256, yeah.
256 for the internal storage on Switch 2.
Okay, that's not bad.
But yeah, they are using the SD cards for other storage, just like the Steam Deck would.
Yeah.
So.
I saw Jake in person. That was part of my week. Was when I was on my work trip. It happened to be in St. Louis, and Jake used that exact same phrase when we were bitching about the Switch 2 stuff. We had spent, I don't know, probably like 45 minutes complaining about it, and then he was like, all that being said, I am a piggy at the trough, and I will still be getting one. I was like, hey, man, if that's what you gotta do, man.
You gotta eat it up. Oink, oink.
Allie got sassy with me the other night about it because she was like, we should get one in case like tariffs or whatever do make it more expensive. And I was like, no, like I don't want it. I'm not going to reward them for this. And so she was like, well, I want it, but like she's just like, this is the only console I play. And I was like, well, that's not true. We're playing Split Fiction on the PS5 right now, right? And you played Spyro on the PS5 like the other day, and she's playing Sackboy right now on the PS5. So like, you know.
And if you want a new handheld, we'll just get you a Steam Deck.
But she was like, but it's the one that I play, so I want it. I was like, well, then you can sell your Switch and you can buy one because I'm not like... And honestly, like, I don't even care if she sells my Switch, you know, because we don't need two in the house. Like, I have a Steam Deck, so she can she can sell my Switch too, but I'm still not going to pay for it. And, like, again, if you want it, like, you're making up the difference because I just, again, like... I get the household will have one if she buys one, but I just can't in good conscience, like, reward that behavior.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not jumping at it. I'm definitely not like looking out for pre-orders or anything like that, but it's, as a Nintendo fan, it's still slightly back in there. I'd be like, well, if the opportunity arises.
If Nintendo emails me for a pre-order, I will still offer it to somebody if they can't get one. But otherwise, I will let that email just
I'm not gonna talk shit on someone who does want one. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, how dare you, anything like that. Like that would never be how I would go about it. It's like, no, if What makes you happy, happy. If you're a Nintendo fan, I'm sorry that you're getting screwed over like this. But you do what you feel like you need to do to get your happiness. I mean, in this 2025, whatever can help distract you and make you happy, go for it.
I think we said that last time too.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. People can do whatever. I'm not going to judge them. Like, you want to buy that console, knock yourself out. I'm just saying that I don't want to do it, mostly because I wouldn't be able to afford those games on it anyway. But then secondly, with this whatever new tariff pricing they swing our way,
sure.
I certainly won't be able to afford it.
I actually am on the opposite mind sometimes. Like, if you want one, I don't judge you, but if you get one, I kind of do. And like, honestly,
no,
I'll relate. I will. Let me relate it to something else. Seriously, in all seriousness, because if people are just like, "Oh, I'm going to do it anyway," you are rewarding them. Like, they're going to continue to do stuff like this because, and like, Disney's a great example, right? Disney got rid of their Fast Pass they call it something else, but for all intents and purposes, they got rid of their Fast Pass, right? In favor of a $30 or up to $30 Genie Pass. So the Genie Pass is something you pay for before you go to Disney World, and it's essentially a fast pass. But like that, different rides have different values. So like, you could buy a fast pass under Genie Pass for a new ride, but it might be like $20 to get that fast pass, or like it could be $5 for a different ride, right? So there was a huge backlash to this from the general community, the people like us that are like, I can't afford that. Like, you're literally pricing us out of it. However, it becomes that status symbol. Apple does the same thing. Google does the same thing. Like, it becomes a status symbol that prices normal people out of it, and people that have that extra income or just wealthy or whatever, like, or even if they can't do it, but they want the status symbol of like, look what I was able to do. Enough people paid for it that they still have never reversed that. And it is so anti-consumer, but Disney is like, I don't care because it's money and
they're
stocks,
paying for it. Yeah.
Right? And it leads to a lot of things. Like it leads to changes in their general prices. They've increased their prices for the 6th time in 6 years. A day price at Disney World when Allie and I got married, just for funsies, $79. You go to one park for $79 for a day. A day price for one park today is $172 per person.
Jesus.
Dude. Right? And it's like, and that's the way I feel about Nintendo. Like, if you want, I totally get it. And I know sometimes it's hard to be like, I should wait or I should protest. But like, when enough people just say, well, fuck it, I'm here and I'm going to do it anyway, there's no incentive for them to change. And so, like, again, I don't really judge you because we all get what we want, and I spend money on stupid shit that I shouldn't. I totally understand. But we are not, as a society, very good at making people pay for their anti-consumer decisions.
And so here's the thing. I agree, and I think I understand what you're saying. The reason I say that I don't think anybody should judge anybody is because if that's where we draw that line, then the whole door swings open of SNK. No one should buy SNK games. They are funded by somebody who chops people up, right? But
I think we said that. I think we said that though a long time ago.
But I bought Metal Slug Tactics because I love Metal Slug, and I was like, I want to do it. Now, am I going to buy City of the Wolves? No, mostly because I think that even though the fighting, like the game looks cool, they've added Ronaldo and some DJ and some other dumb shit because SNK wants them to. And I was like, well, it's really easy now for me to say no, this is stupid, and also. It's owned by a horrific, or it has money from a horrific person. Mm-hmm. But then the same thing goes for people who bought Hogwarts New Legacy because all of that money still trickles up to J.K. Rowling, and she does horrific shit with her money all the time that makes lives harder for other people. The same thing goes for Ubisoft. People buy Ubisoft. Friend of the show, Travis, is playing a Ubisoft game right now. And you know who needs money less than anybody, or is among the group of people who needs money less than anybody? The entire CEO leadership of Ubisoft, because they're horrific people and they continually commit crimes. The same thing, like, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not going to judge somebody. I don't think you should buy it. I don't think you should buy a Switch 2. I don't think you should buy any of those games for the Switch 2. I think if a game comes out, especially in the interim, and it has a Switch 1 version, you should go play that Switch 1 version. And if that's really what you want to do, and then you can, live with that. And hopefully make Nintendo feel some way about it. That being said, I think with their games going up to $90, it would have to be every single person would have to not buy one of these, because the profit that they're going to make up by making these games $90 is going to outweigh is the same thing that happened with 70. The whole reason 70 stuck around is because most people, like, we don't really buy that many $70 games. Like, most of the games that we get are not that expensive. But even though the three of us don't do it, plenty of people do. And that extra $10 on purchases each time adds up and makes it so it doesn't matter. So I think I would be great. It would be awesome if this bit Nintendo in the ass and they weren't able to do it and they had to run it back. The only time so far that we've seen a company get it so bad that they had to run it back was Microsoft with the always online thing. Mm-hmm. And who knows, man? I mean, maybe I think,
but it's Nintendo though, and like,
but
the backlash isn't that bad, because like all the podcasts I'm listening
it's pretty bad.
It's like, sure, the one podcast we both listen to, like, they're kind of shitting on it and poo-pooing on it, but like all the other ones I'm listening to that are popular, like, they're just talking about how excited they are and how they went to go play the games and stuff like that. They're getting it for free, so why the fuck do they care? So they're not gonna complain about it.
But most of the people that are on those podcasts that you listen to are rich people.
Well, not as rich people, but they get the games for free because they're a part of like a large establishment.
Yes, but they're also very rich. Like, their podcasts are extremely successful and they make a fuck ton of money, or they have multiple jobs. Like, Firescape Cast is people who have, like, sure. I'm just guessing, but those are three
like
people that have jobs outside of the money that they make from that podcast. And so, yeah, I'm sure, like, you can say, like, oh, it sucks the games are expensive, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't affect you, because not only are you going to get that game for free, you're definitely going to get the console for free, too. Yeah. So,
and you're definitely going to get it because you're going to want to talk about it because it's your livelihood, so.
Yes. So, but
I mean,
I'm saying...
In fact, it's the opposite. You're going to get paid because you have sponsorships, so, like, or you do ads, so you get it for free and you get paid to talk about it.
But I think that from a person perspective, like regular people, I have seen the sentiment switch. Like, if you look through, like, on Reddit or any social media, like, a lot of people are commenting to Nintendo all the time, like, change the fucking price, blah, blah, blah. That being said, I think that people are going to get real pissed real quick whenever this new tariff pricing comes out. Yeah, because if that console goes up to, like, $650, $700, then I think that you'll see a lot of people who will physically be like, I can't buy it. The same thing happened with the PS3. $599. I can't justify. And no one bought the motherfucker.
I can't justify that. Like, and I was like, that makes it more money than like my Xbox or than my PlayStation, right? And somebody last night was just like, yeah, but I mean, so like it's similar. I was like, but it's not in hardware. So like, how can I justify a subpar console compared to the other two when it comes to like graphics capabilities? Even to my Switch deck has an OLED display and the same battery. Like, right? How can I justify paying more for this console than I did any of the others that I have? Like, it's just insane.
Won't, but plenty of people will go because Mario Kart, because Donkey Kong Bonanza, because those games they can only get on there and they gotta have it. So
I think there will be some enthusiasts that will still do it, but I think come Christmas time,
I'm hoping
there will be parents that will be like, I cannot do that.
Sure.
Especially with the way that the economy is trending in this country right now, and as far as like money is concerned. Yeah. Like, I think you would have at $650 to $700, you're gonna have a hard time convincing parents to go out there and go get that for kids.
Well, even like the PS5 Pro, like Sony came out and was like, we did not like the sales on that because it was like what, $700 fucking dollars.
Yep.
Like no one's paying for that. Anyone who pay that much is already probably considering building a PC if they're thinking about that price point. So it's just, I'm hoping that they see the hit, but I have a feeling that what will happen is they won't see the hit. Other companies will try to play it as well, and then those companies are going to get the hit because they're not Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of people that I think are going to benefit off of this, like game makers. Pricing games from now on at $80 and $90 is simple because they don't sell hardware, right? And when you look around, you go, oh, well, we're keeping up with market trends to keep producing amazing product. Like that's the line they'll use. So, Ubisoft's next game will be $90. But hey, we're just keeping up with market trends. Like we're delivering a great experience, and it is what it is.
There's some declines in sales, and they're going to get even more declines in sales if they want to pop it up to $80, $90.
Do you think? I think Assassin's Creed.
Analyst.
Assassin's Creed has been pretty level for a long time, not gaining in sales until this one, and they never dropped it from 70. In fact, they came out with other ways to try and make money, like an NFT scheme and other stuff. Like they're
also worried about getting bought out by Tencent.
Yeah, so you would think they would drop the price of their game, though, like.
Yeah.
To get it to more hands. Honestly, I think what's gonna happen, like if my actual, and I know we talked about it last week, so we don't have to hang on, but like, I honestly think I don't think Nintendo's gonna change. I don't think that I think they're gonna raise their price with the new pre-order. People are still gonna buy it. People are gonna buy these games, and then we are gonna have to deal.
Wait, you think they're gonna raise? You think they're gonna raise the price of the new pre-order?
Yeah, because if they weren't, then they wouldn't have taken the pre-order down.
Oh, so you think based on tariffs, they were going to raise it there? I thought they might actually let the first batch go at what was said and then raise it later.
No, because if that was the case, they would have left those pre-orders up for that date. Because we've already missed that date. Like I think it was supposed to be the 9th or something like that. And we've already missed that date. So I think that they're going to raise the price, and then they're going to say, here's the pre-order date. This is what it is. Eat up, piggies. They're going to keep those games at the same price they've been because they're going to say that we believe that our products are...
And they have variable pricing so they can move it around a little bit if they feel like they need to.
I'm sure, and there'll be some games, right, that they'll say...
Then Mario comes out. The next 3D Mario comes out, and they're like, okay, well, this is a $90 game. The other games you were selling were less, but like, this is going to be a $90 game because people aren't going to not buy it.
Yes, and that's how they're going to do it, and that'll be the way that the rest of the industry goes as well. And now, that being said, I'm putting it out here so that we all know, so that if a new game gets announced, I'm not, like, no matter what the platform is, no matter what the game is, I'm just saying it right now, I am not buying a $90 game. It's just I'm just not doing it.
I mean, base price $90.
Base price, because
you've already just paid over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the ultimate. Here's the thing with that game, Capcom is going to get that money. Yeah. Capcom is either going to get that money day one in the Ultimate Bundle, or over time as I just pick and choose the DLC to buy off the Steam store when I'm
base
bored.
price.
So you might as well get it day one. But that's a special edition. It's different.
Yeah. Yes. Base price. I'm talking about base price video game. Like even if let's say let's just say this happens. Let's say that the 14 team gets announced. They're doing the Final Fantasy IX remake because those rumors keep bubbling up. Let's say that happens and it's Yoshi P running it. And now I'm like, holy shit, it might actually be in good hands. And then Square comes out and goes, $89.99. I'm going to be like, no. Not only because I barely want that game to exist in the first place, but also because I'm not doing it. I have other games to play. I'll be just fine. Yeah. And I will...
I was going to say, I have been eagle-eyeing my backlog right now to where it's like, okay...
Yes.
What games am I gonna play? Because like right now, it's like even like South of Midnight comes out, it's like $40, which I should support that company and things like that. But like it's con season right now. I got money allocated to other places. I gotta wait for con season to be over because we'll talk about it later in my weeks. We just went to Midwest Gaming Classic, bought a bunch of retro games. I'm gonna go to C2E2, which is Chicago Comic Con for those who don't know, this coming weekend, a couple days from today, and that's gonna be some money going towards that too. And I got free comic book day where I'm gonna go to Jake's comic book shop and drop a bunch of money there too. So it's like as much as I would like to support that company, I'm going to wait till that wave of funds is going to be gone.
I can tell you this right now. If the standard price of games goes to $90, the only game I will ever talk about from now on, backlogs or 14, because I can pay an entire year of 14 for that price. And you know how much content I haven't done in 14? You know how many mounts I haven't gotten? And fish I haven't caught? And other stuff? I'll play that forever.
Now, that being said, there are plenty of games out. Like Preston just mentioned South of Midnight, which people are hyping up as a potential GOTY candidate. So, hey, like...
Blueprints? Things like
shout out to that studio. I'm happy for them.
I wish I would have done 10 points instead of 8, which is some horse shit. But whatever.
We will...
2 points.
I'll still, obviously, like, when those games kind of launch and it's out at those price points... your boy will be there day one. I'm down. And I still, like, you know, I don't, it like, but I'm not, you will not catch me buying $90 games. It's just not happening as a base price. I'm not doing it. Like, that's, it's crazy. After tax, especially after tax on Steam, you're talking about $100 for a base price video game, however much for a fucking extended or the Ultimate Edition or whatever the fuck. I'm all good on that.
Grand Theft Auto Ultimate Edition or Collector's, whatever, it'll be $200.
$150, yeah.
Yeah.
If it comes with a statue or some stupid shit, it's gonna be $200, yeah.
They can get up to 120 now, right?
Yeah.
So just it's insane.
I mean, I really want to play Grand Theft Auto 6. If they come out and say it's $100, I'm like, ugh. But I'm not buying a Switch 2 this year, so I might. So who knows? That's a very like, not a lot of games can do that because Grand Theft Auto 5 happened like over 10 years ago. So like one game from them every 10 years, like maybe I put that kind of money towards it because they put a lot of effort and work into it. Which not to say that people who made Mario Kart didn't put a lot of effort and work into it. It feels different.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people talking about it right now, including us, that are only harping on it because we're angry, and we're only angry because we're disappointed. Like everybody was hype on this console. The announcements were great, and I think a lot of people were just let down. We're just as a fan base, I think everybody's excited, and you just just disappointing. So all right,
that's comments.
That's comments. Was that the only comment we had? Did Travis leave one? He told me he was going to. He may be leaving it on this week. Okay. I know Travis played Black. Travis is playing Black along with us.
Nice.
He told me he was doing that.
To be fair, part 1 hasn't come out yet, so he's probably waiting for that to drop tomorrow.
Good point. Probably is. A little peek behind the curtain on when we record there. So.
Yeah, right.
So, okay. That makes sense. Cool. All right. Well, Christian, you were talking about your week. You just want to carry on?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, mine's shorter than the rest of you guys because I was so busy I barely played any video games. I made I made an hour of progress in Fantasian. I'll just tell you how that happened. The flight from Wisconsin, or where we're at, was to St. Louis, is an hour from the Milwaukee airport to St. Louis. So we got up and I pulled my Steam Deck out. I played for about an hour, and then they were like, "Okay, hey, we're going down." And I was like, "Never mind." Okay, so made about an hour of progress. Got to see a bunch of the old homies. Got to see Jake for the first time in person.
I keep on forgetting that you haven't seen him like in person. Like you've seen him like video call, but like
yeah. That was the funniest thing is that it wasn't like a weird thing because Jake and I have hung out plenty of times for hours and hours and hours, but it was our first time in person, so we just kicked it, got some good food, and got some beer over at Urban Chestnut and hung out there, and that was I did try one other game. This will only be of note to Preston because I think we had talked about it before. So while I was at the airport, I decided at the St. Louis airport, and I was waiting for the plane to come. I dabbled in a mobile game, and I tried that new Pokemon TCG.
Okay.
The one. It's
game.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I'm not.
I know. We both thought that. I'm just here to confirm for you. It's okay. It's not like.
Can I say this is nothing against you guys playing this game because I know like.
I haven't touched it.
Of it.
I'm not.
Okay, well, so
but
Christian,
my issue is that it wasn't like
we liked the old one.
Yeah,
we
liked
liked
the
Game
Boy game.
Well,
it's not that, even though it's called the same fucking name. It's not that.
Can we just talk about the brain rot that we're starting to get as humans? Like people are doing card pulls on that game, like they're doing card pulls in real life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, look at what I pulled. It's like it's not worth anything, guys. Isn't mean anything.
Yeah. That being said,
literally
there is an account on social media that everybody should go follow. This is the whole reason I tried this one. It is a cat that opens up the card packs for it, and they take the paw, they slide it right across, and the cards come out. And then if it gets a special one, the cat ends up looking at the camera like all excited. It's a good account. Gives you good feels. That being said, there's no reason to download the game. It's just okay. Let's see. Yeah, other than that, I mean, I'll just go right into this. That'll lead into Preston's week, which is we went to Midwest Gaming Classic.
Hell yeah.
So we've talked about it here on the show before, but it is a massive, massive event that's held in Milwaukee that is all about retro games, and honestly, like some TCG stuff too. Like there was Magic, there was the Star Wars one, there was the Disney one, there was Pokemon. I mean, it was a fuck ton. There was that
if it's
stuff.
A game, whether it's a board game or not, it's probably there.
Yeah, board games, correct. Yep, there was tons of board games and stuff too. Any kind of game, really, they had some sort of representation, but it's mostly retro game focused. Like it's heavy that way.
That would be right up Travis's jam too. He has more board games than anybody I've ever met.
Yeah, there were some good vendors that had a lot of board game stuff. And so Preston and I went through like we always do, and we just try to find some shit that we're looking for, and we also helped your boy out.
Helped your boy
out. We got him something. So Alex is now the proud owner of a very, very clean inbox copy of Ocarina of Time.
Baby.
Yes, complete inbox. And man, when I tell you, like, I'm sure I think Preston still has the photo, so he might be able to toss it up here. But that boy clean. It is.
I saw the photo. I still have the photo on my phone. I looked at it today, actually.
There's a little bit of wear in the back corners,
it's the edges of the box,
which is normal for an N6. I mean, it's been out forever. But I mean, other than that, it is like it looks like it came off the fucking shelf. It's super clean. So it's Alex's favorite Zelda. So there you go. We're able to help him out with that. But then
it's great too, like, because I have to recollect all these games I had as a kid, right? Because I bought that I pre-ordered the Analog 64, so Analog the company coming back out with the 64, playing old cartridges on a new updated console, and I've so got to
shout out to Analog, by the way. Analog's a great company.
Yeah,
they are using, so just for those who don't know, the way that they handle a lot of their emulation stuff is not the way that you are thinking of emulation as in like how you do it on your PC, right? Where there's like some sort of different things happening, or it's trying to emulate. Like this is true hardware based emulation. So the same thing as like the FrameMeister, the FPGA stuff, like the shit that like crazy people like me and Preston talk about wanting to own eventually because that shit is so expensive. Analog is the kind of company that is distilling some of that stuff down and making it into like an affordable, like box that people can have that will only play certain things. For right now, I think they have the Analog Color and the Analog Pocket, which there, and then Alex, what you were talking about, they have for pre-order is the Analog 64, and I think they have one, same thing for this Sega equivalent that's up for pre-order, I believe, right now. It's true, like as close to like lossless sort of emulation that you can get. So you put a regular cartridge in, but then it works and upscales it correctly to modern displays, but you don't have any of the shitty like artifacting and fucked up stuff that happens. Like it does all of that work inside the hardware. It's fantastic. Shout out to them. They're doing God's work over there. And so to that point is that when Alex pops in that Ocarina cartridge, it's gonna look just like it did on a CRT, like way when we were kids, except it will be on a nice big display that it won't be all crunchy and look fucked up. So, that's awesome. And it does the same thing for all their handheld ones. But yeah, so I guess I'll just go into what I snagged, and then Preston, you can take over from the shit that you were looking for too, because
sure.
you've been searching for some of those for a hot minute.
Yes.
And he finally got some. So I went in with a goal, and I was able to accomplish most of it except for two of them. I decided that what I wanted to own was every either final version or just like whatever it was of in the US of every Monster Hunter that got released here. And I was able to make that happen except for Monster Hunter 1 on the PS2. I could, like Preston and I have said before, we could go to eBay and go get these things, but we just like the hunt. There's just
something fun about
like
it. We don't need them, so
yeah. But I found every single one. Huh?
When you showed the picture of the games you got, I was surprised to see how old some of the monsters that we experience today are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Tigrex on the cover of an old one and Narcocuga on the cover of an old one. I saw those like, oh shit, like I thought they just had new monsters every single game. Yeah.
No, there's very few, like the flagships are always new. But then there's like that's why honestly Wilds is impressive, is because it has a good amount of new monsters. And so it's impressive that they were able to put that many new ones in. But yeah, so I already had Freedom Unite from ahead of time, so that's basically the final version of 2. And so then I got 3 Ultimate, 4 Ultimate, Generations Ultimate, and then I've already had Rise, Worlds, and Wilds, obviously. So I was able to snag all those. I also picked up an import of basically like Monster Hunter Animal Crossing. So it's like a little village, but it's called Monster Hunter Diary, but it's like you just hang out with palicos all day, and they're like the little villagers, and they do things. So it's fantastic.
So that never came to the States? That's robbery.
Huh?
I said it's robbery that never came to the States.
Especially it's because it's locked to the PSP, which like you should have just given us that game.
They needed games, yeah.
Yes, you should have just given us that game. It's dumb that we didn't get it. But yeah, so I got those. I picked up an inbox copy of Zone of the Enders with the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo attached to it, because I had never had that one before, or I never found that one before. It was super clean, so I snagged that one. I was looking, obviously, for Monster Hunter 1. Was not able to find that there at the show. It got to the point where Preston and I were going through most of the show, and this one was more popular than I think any year that we've been. It's always gotten bigger every year, but I think now more than ever, people are looking back at older stuff and wanting to go back for one reason or another, because this show blew up. Like there was so many people that were like really young. Like there was a lot of people that were there that were obviously Preston and I's age, because that's like the main thing of the hobby, but like we saw tons of kids. I mean, like tons of kids and teenagers that were there, which is honestly nice to see. It was cool.
To be fair, sadly we're getting to the age where people our age can have kids.
Yes, but most of those kids usually don't give a fuck. Like they usually don't care about that stuff. So to see a lot of people show up that actually were like getting excited about PS2
they were
games.
raised right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. But yeah. So there was mad people there, and so by the time Preston and I got to, I think like the last couple rows, I just started straight up asking people, like I rather than searching through yourself, I'm just like, hey man, because there was so many people, I would just like get their attention. They're like, hey man, can I help you look for something? And I was like, you got a copy of Monster Hunter 1 for the PS2 back there? And they were like, nope. And I was like, sweet. And I just moved on to the next one. I was like, bye. Like that's all right. That's all I'm looking for. I was also looking for a copy of Ninja Gaiden Black, but there was people there that were wanting way too much fucking money for that game. Like,
no, because
I know, but it was like
remaking everything else. Yeah, new one.
Yeah, but the problem is that like Black is the best version of that game, and like whatever. But like, you can go get it on the Xbox, like the backwards compatibility version, for like $10. So there's that. Like, if I really wanted to go, I would just go get that one. But then also, I think the average price that I saw last was like people like I had it was sitting around for like $50, which I probably would have went it for, but there was people that show wanting like $90 for their copy, and I was like, my friend, I'm not doing that. And I think that was it. So the real thing here is that, and this will lead in, is that Press and I both bought a Wii U game, different ones, but we bought one. Which means now you boys are in the market for a Wii U, so that we can eventually play these things. So we will try to find a reasonably priced Wii U to be able to play those things.
Yep. I'm surprised that's not what Nintendo's telling people to buy if they're upset about the prices of the Switch and Switch 2.
I know, fuck, honestly. Well, they did tell them to do it for the Switch one.
The Switch one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll lead right into Preston's week.
Okay, yeah, same. Did some retro shopping. So I I have a list of Star Wars games that I do want to get the physical copies for, and there are a couple of games that I can't get on PC even. So
how do you have any left?
There are very few that left that I want. So like something like, I'm not talking shit on the Lego games, but I don't care to own the Lego Star Wars games, right? Some like Yoda stories and stuff like that. If I see a copy for cheap, I might pick it up just to have it for the shelf. But like I'm not looking for those. One of the games to which I can play on PS5 because they actually did I guess a port of it, but one of them they didn't. So I got Star Wars Demolitions, which I can get a $10 port on PlayStation 5 for, but I've never played it. It's a like Vigilante 8 slash Twisted Metal. It's made from the creators of Vigilante 8. It's Star Wars themed. Also, it's not very good, but it'll be a fun thing to play. Like when I did the Bombad Racing, I'll do that for one of the days towards like, okay, I got a day. Let's go through. Let's play around with this. Let's experience the game and have some fun with it, I guess. But I always thought it looked fucking cool because it has like Boba Fett there. It has a couple different characters. Someone's riding a Rancor, and like it always looked cool in the box art. But I got that one. I got one that you cannot find anywhere as far as digital stores, which is known to be one of the worst Star Wars games, which is Star Wars Masters of Terrascasi, which is a Star Wars fighting game, which is hot garbage.
Oh,
I remember playing this at Walmart on their neck breaking racing TV
Yeah,
screens.
the neck breaking machine.
Yeah. I remember playing it on there and being like, oh, Star Wars, you can play with fighting with Luke Skywalker and stuff. So I have that. So that one's ready. So I can play that one on stream. So I have a copy of that. And then I was looking for it. I couldn't find the version I wanted, so I got a different version. It's the game called The Clone Wars. You can get it on PS5. But this was like a vehicle mission-based combat game. So if you think of like Rogue Squadron, to where you get in your ship, you kind of do you do a mission on a planet. This is kind of the same thing, but it's all like land-based vehicles. So like tanks and stuff like that for Clone Wars. I had that for GameCube. I loved it. I wanted the GameCube version. But the only version I could find was the Xbox version. That is paired with Tetris something. I can't remember right off the top of my head
right now. Yeah.
But they bundled Star Wars The Clone Wars and Tetris for some reason on one
What's funny is
disc.
With that game, you don't know if somebody went, hey, we're excited about Tetris, let's give people a peek and let's put it on Star Wars. Or if they went, we don't trust in the Star Wars game, let's bundle it with this new Tetris that people loved us so more.
The Clone Wars game was a decent game from what I remember. I don't think that Tetris one that's included with it is playable now. I don't know if it was like a download only or what it was, but if it was online only, I'm not sure. But from what I hear, it's not a playable version of that Tetris game. Got that. The Wii game I found, I wasn't even looking for this game. But I'm looking there, I'm like, there's a complete in-box version of Star Fox Zero for the Wii U. And just for shits and giggles, I'm like, how much? Cause I forget what other game I got with from her, but like, I'm like, what was that one go for? She's like, $20. I'm like, yep. She's like, I'm like,
yeah.
No. I'm like, oh, wait, let me look at the box real quick. But like, $20, like, I'll probably just pick this up. So she got this perfectly new in box. It comes with like Star Fox Guard. And I'm like, man. So now me and Christian are sitting there like,
everything, dude.
Fuck. Now I want a Wii U. Now I need a Wii U. I'm putting a fucking box so I can whip out the one time I want to play Star Fox Zero, because I'm not going to port it to Switch.
They will
or
not.
Switch 2 for that matter. But yeah, it's. I got that. It's sitting nice on my shelf. I love the box art for that one. It looks really cool. I got one of my missing Wii games. I'm kind of trying to build up the old Wii games I have, so I picked up Steven Spielberg's Boom Blocks. Alex, did you ever play Boom Blocks?
Boom
Block? Boom Blocks.
Boom Blocks. I don't think so.
It's like Angry Birds meets Jenga. So you would throw you'd like throw it at the Jenga thing and it would like knock up for points and you don't want to get crashed. From what I remember, it's been so long since I played it.
It looks similar. It looks like a game I played, but then again, like it could have just played a game that looks similar on something else, on like a coffee break arcade, or who knows? But interesting. Okay.
But yeah, I got that one because I'm like, I haven't seen that one for a long time. And it's cheap, so I picked up that one. And then I also picked up. I can't even remember now. I don't have my phone on me, so I can't look at the picture.
Here, I got you. Hold on, let me look
it up real quick. I'm trying to think of the top of my head. It was that, and there was one one other one. I thought.
1 second.
I could be wrong. That could be just the 4.
Almost. There we go. Nope, you did have a 5th one. I'll give you a hint.
Yep.
It's a PS3 game.
It's not gonna help me.
Mario Kart related PS3 game.
Mod Nation Racers. I picked up. That's okay. So had a breakup. The PS3 and a lot of the games went with it. So I did not have that anymore. And there's a couple of PS3 games I just want to make sure I still have on my shelf. Mod Nation Racers was an incredible kart racer. The customization on it, which I'm sure is no longer available, as far as like the community customization stuff.
No, I don't know. I think that's still up because I think I think the PS3 store is still live.
I know PS3 store is still live. I just don't know if the servers for Mod Nation are live anymore.
You keep talking.
Because this is not like hey, pay for this DLC pack and you get this like cart. It's no, they had some customization in there to where people were just making licensed shit. So like the Ecto 1, someone just made like a really good version of it. Like the freedom they were given for the customization on Mod Nation was crazy. Like people were running around with like Looney Tunes characters inside their carts. Like there was a lot of stuff in there to where it's just like, if you like something that's IP related, we're not going to put it out on DLC, but we're giving you guys enough freedom with the customization in this game to just be able to make whatever the fuck you want. And it's a solid card.
The servers are down. However, you can still connect based on the way the PS3 handles its online stuff. There is a fan server up that does races and stuff that people can still connect to very easily and still do races and stuff, which is cool. So shout out to that community.
Yeah, it was a wild, cool kart game. Not a lot of people played it that I'm aware of, and it's a nice little gem I wanted to put back on that list because I just didn't have it for a while. I do have a big list. I remember I went through like a month or two ago. I'm like, okay, I got most of the retro games I need or want. So if I go to some like RetroCon, like, what am I going to get? I'm like, okay, well, I decided to make a list of my game of the year for every year all the way up until like 1987. And so I got those games that I'm willing to keep an eye out for. I didn't get any. I don't think I got any of those while I was there with it. So, but yeah, that's everything from Midwest Gaming Classic. It was a fun time. I did want to mention something more about Final Fantasy VII Intergrade. I forgot to mention last time. I wanted to talk about the music and one little scene that happened, kind of.
Actually, Preston, sorry, you got 2 more games because
Did I get it from you or did I get it from the store? So yeah. So I was looking and I was like, oh, I'm noticing Star Fox Adventures here for like GameCube. That's like $10-15 or whatever. And Christian's like, bro, I have it. He's like, I don't necessarily want it. I just got it because it was cheap. So if you just want it, I'll give it to you. I'm like, bet. So I got Star Fox Adventures from Christian. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's somebody there asking $45 for that game. They were
I saw a $15 price point one, but yeah, no, they were smoking crack. That's not worth $45. And then there's another game that I will talk about in my week that Christian also let me borrow.
Oh, did you do it? Okay.
I started it. So I want to talk about Final Fantasy VII Intergrade real quick. Forgot to mention about the music. I think, obviously, Final Fantasy VII is probably one of the most iconic soundtracks when it comes to at least Final Fantasy VII, not to mention just PlayStation in general.
Uematsu's doing his thing, just like he always does.
So Intergrade has a lot of new music in there. One of them was really fun. So we're going in, and it's like a battle. And I forget where it is in the game. I think it's like when you're like in the base section of like the Sector 7 slums. But you're fighting, it's you feeling it's like normal Final Fantasy music, and then you get into the battle, and then this metal song comes on.
Fully wrecked at the Happy Turtle.
And there's like a bar or something called the Happy Turtle, which is a where's she kind of clan is she from?
It's in I forget the. Hold on, I got
it's the clan where she's from. Yeah, so it's they are known to have like this chain of bars that they have one.
Wu-Tai, sorry.
Wu-Tai is where it's from. I don't know why I can't remember. But yeah, so the Happy Turtle metal music comes on, and I just sit there like, is this a metal song for Happy Turtle? And I was like, oh, get Rick with the Happy Turtle! And I was like, there's a chase scene in there where you're chasing after a guy because he's getting chased, so you're going after him. But he has like your tickets to get into the Shinra building. this entire area, because you're chasing after him, has one song that they made 4 songs for. It's called The Rundown or something like that. It's on Spotify, as far as the something like that. And it is this cowboy bebop-esque, like jazz, like get the trumpets going on, like nice little like jazz drums. They have a 3-minute, it's just the song, a 3-minute drum solo. And I'm sitting here, I'm playing the game, and I'm hearing it, like I'm hearing it, it's going crazy. I'm like, it's not going to a solo, so I pause. I'm kind of listening to it, like, this fucking solo is still going. I'm like, holy shit! And like, check it, like, that's a 3-minute fucking drum solo. It's just amazing. This integrate itself is probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy. It is so good. One more song. So, there is a part in Integrate, and I wouldn't consider this as spoilers, but like, Integrate is before the fall of the plate in Sector 7.
Yep.
So, a lot of characters are still around. You don't necessarily team up with all the characters, but like you're in the slums and you're there, you know, talking to some other people. You go to like the base where you're meeting the people you're gonna group up with to go to Shinra building. Right before you get into the door, the song comes on. I'm like, oh, it's like nice, like Final Fantasy. It's the one you recognize. It's like the Final Fantasy theme, but it's a little softer. It's got a little soft piano going with it. And then you hear a voice of someone who may have passed. And I got choked up. I'm like, what? And it's kind of like that scene too. I don't know if everyone has had someone pass away. And sometimes you go into public places and like that person kind of looks like them. You have like a little weird deja vu kind of scenario. I had that and I looked over and I saw that person like, oh my God. And the song that hits with it, fuck dude, it killed me. Absolute killed me. The song is called A Hero Lost. And I'm like, fuck you guys. You knew exactly, because you walk up to that door and you hear that person talk. So like those like 3 people are over there just having a chit chat, and it doesn't trigger any dialogue until you get close to that door and that song is playing. That was like chef's kiss, fucking perfect. Integrate is amazing. It's a great game. If you liked Remake, Alex, play Integrate. It's definitely worth it. It's like 3-4 hours long, so it's definitely worth the time.
Yeah.
That being said, Christian let me borrow Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm like, yeah, just let me hold on to it real quick. You know, I'm gonna play South of Midnight and stuff like that. We'll get to it when we get to it. Well, after I finished Integrate, I still had the fucking itch. And I'm sitting there looking at... Of
course you did. I know, we'll get to it tonight.
Looking at all my other fucking other things. I'm like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and get downloaded at least on PS5. And by the way, the 2 discs, one is the data disc and one is the play disc. So you don't change discs mid-game.
No.
You just...
Yeah, it's part of the install. Yeah,
it's just part of the install. So... but I started up. I just had to because it was on there, it's sitting there. I'm like, I could play this, I could play that. I'm like, I just really want to play more fucking Final Fantasy, man. So I did start it. I can't remember the hours off the top of my head, but to kind of let you know where I'm at, I'm in the mines area, and I had the snake on the like impaled on the tree scene from the original Final Fantasy. So I had that scene happen to me as well. So that kind of gives you an idea where I'm like just after that, like in the mines area. I think I'm just about to exit that whatever mine area it is, but I'm liking it. The combat is great. These synergy moves are fucking awesome. I'm still kind of getting used to it, understanding it, but because I played Remake, I'm definitely have acclimated to the fact that I'm trying to bounce between multiple characters, so that way I can get the AP up to do their special moves, and I can do synergies and things like that. Thought it was kind of fun that they just started you off at level 14. I mean, obviously they're not going to go with the levels that you had from the previous game, but they don't start you off at 1. So it's like, oh, this is technically a continuation still.
But also, you probably would have finished that other game at like 40 or 50.
Exactly, so you would have went well overpowered for sure. But so far, I'm enjoying the story. I'm not going to go spoilers in it, because I know that Alex and me and Christian are going to have a discussion on this later on, one point or another. Probably on our trip down to Chicago. But Zack shows up. And I guess it's not really spoiler, because this is the very beginning. It's not spoiling the actual story of like what you're doing in that, but he shows up to Midgard with Cloud, still passed out, and he just kind of puts him off to the side because he's like, oh, I want to see what's in there. Because like I mentioned that at the end of Crisis Core, Zack rolls up to the church and opens up and finds everybody hanging out in there, as far as like, the refugees or whatever that are dealing with the fall. But I don't know. Should I say what he sees when he actually gets to there in Rebirth? Do you think that's too much of a spoiler?
I mean, I've said it already on the show, so if anybody listened to my rant, then you already heard it. Otherwise, but if you...
And we already mentioned that this is like a different dimension shit, so like, it's not actually what's happening in your game. It's just happening, whatever the fuck is happening with Zack. Zack shows up and like, oh, the plate fell and everything like that, and you see all the main characters being hauled off in fucking stretchers, like arms falling down limp, like that motherfucker's dead.
All of them but one are dead.
I guess technically two.
Well,
because one crashes the helicopter and then is dead.
Yes.
Because the helicopter that crashes is the one with Aerith in it, and then he goes up and grabs Aerith, and that's all you.
But Tifa, Barrett, and Red are dead.
Barrett, Red, they're done. They're dusted, which I'm assuming everyone else is at that point too. Obviously outside of Cloud. But I'm just sitting here, I'm like,
because he's a vegetable.
This game is trying to go places, but it's not going places with its game. It's going places with the side story that they're kind of doing here. And it's wild. It's wild. I played through the whole, I keep on wanting to call it Midsummer. It's not Midsummer. What's the fucking Cloud's hometown, Tifa's hometown?
Niflheim.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking that because the snake guy has a name that's very close to like
Midgar Summer.
Yeah. Did the whole Niflheim thing, completely forgot that he's like in the original, he lied about all that kind of stuff. I'm sitting here, I'm like,
yep.
Why is it having me play it this way? I'm like, oh, that's right, because he's fucking lying still and blah 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 blah.
But that's he was there, right?
He was there because he was in the shoulder headset. He didn't want to let anyone know he's there.
This during because you played Crisis Core, so it's like Cloud was there. He was just a background character. He was just a little guard, and it was Zack. Yeah. Zack was the one who was doing cool ass shit with Sephiroth in the middle of the town.
They're going like, oh, that's the Cloud's mother's dead because of Sephiroth and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Because at the very end, Tifa's like, you weren't like I said that we were kind of telling a story together. I kind of went along with your story. And she's like upstairs on the roof. She's like, you weren't there. And then they kind of just dives into that. I'm like, okay, well. And
then that's when Cloud's like, "Good, my head hurts," and she's like, "Okay, I'll leave you alone. Leave you alone."
So obviously he does think he was there. So
100%.
So I'm assuming for whatever reason that he has the soldier blood inside of him, it's gonna be that he probably transfused the memories from Zack as well. So he's just doing a whole.
Well, no, he was. The problem is that it's two things, right? It's one, for most of those events, he was there. He was just the background guard character. But
he's placing himself as Zack in his mind of like what went on.
But it's because but he could see Zack for most of it, right? Like most of it, he was physically inhabiting the same space. Yeah. It's just that Zack. So he knows like
what Zack did.
know what it looked like. Right. I know what Zack did, so I can just put myself there. Right. That's like for 90% of it. So, but Tifa doesn't know that he was there because Tifa never knew that he was that guard this whole time. She does not know that. Still, even in the part that you're at, she has no idea. Sure. So that's why she keeps saying like, I don't know how you even know some of these things because you're not there. Like, but she goes, it did happen the way you said it happened. So I don't know what happened, but you weren't there.
Somehow you know.
But then the other the last 10%, let's say, is that there was obviously like in Crisis Core. When Zack has Cloud in that truck and he's riding around, like Zack is like talking to him and telling him things, and so the last little bits there, like anything that Cloud wasn't there for, he now knows because even though Cloud couldn't move, his brain was still
listening to him in a coma,
things.
kind of deal, yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I'm enjoying all of the combat and everything like that. You get into a little bit more of the open world aspects of it. I jumped in, I did the whole chocobo thing, so you can get a chocobo to run around, and it's like, here's all you can get missions here, and the bounty board kind of bullshit, almost towards there, and I tried to do like one or two. I did one, it was a little bit of meh, as far as story and all that kind of nonsense, and then I did one towards like, you gotta fight this wolf over here, and I'm just getting my shit handed to me. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. Let's continue on with the story objectives, and let's just go ahead and just move on, and just... If we get to a point where I feel like I'm low level, we'll start doing some of these side quests. But right now, I'm having no problems with the level I'm at. So I might do a side quest here and there if I think the characters are interesting. But who is that fucking chick that calls herself a mercenary. Then she has like a little blue hat on and like the striped stockings and shit like that.
Oh, I forget her
Kaylee
name,
or something like that. But like I did that
Haley
mission,
I don't know.
and I'm like, you know what? Fuck these side missions. I'm not doing this shit. This is a dumb story. It's not even really. It's not super interesting, and I'm not enjoying the characters that are in here. So we'll just do the story. So right now, Preston's just mostly mainlining. If I think there's an interesting side story, I might do it. But we're mostly mainlining, and I'm having an enjoyable time with it so far.
I told you this beforehand, and I still maintain it now. You will more than likely have a much better experience with that game than I did if you just mainline it.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the story stuff is still I disagree with, but in general, yes.
Fucking Chadley's still there. He wants me to Ubisoft the
and he
entire
has
map.
a sibling now.
I haven't gotten to that point yet, but all right.
Yeah, no, yes, you have. If you've seen the open one, you might not have talked to him a bunch, but she's there.
Okay, yeah.
I
haven't talked to her at all because he showed us like, hey, I'm here. He's like, you can come to my towers. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, if you keep
I did the one. I didn't do anything else after that.
Okay, so that's what it is. Yeah, in that first area, if you keep doing his little quests, there's a girl Chadley that shows up.
I didn't continue doing it in Final Fantasy Remake. I'm not going to continue doing it in Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Well,
unless someone's like, hey, you really want these summons? Go talk to Chadley. That's the only time I'm going to talk to Chadley.
Yeah.
So yeah. Started Final Fantasy Rebirth. It's a lot of fun. Finished Rogue Flight. Went through all of the routes and everything like that. A whole lot of fun. Not really much to add to that. Other than, again, if you haven't heard me say it before, if you like Star Fox and on-rail shooters, Rogue Flight is 1000% worth the time and the money. Played some more Monster Hunter Wilds with the boys. Got in a little bit of the new tempered ones. Got my ass kicked constantly. These new monsters are no joke. These tempered monsters are here to fuck you and remind you that the beginning game was a tutorial. The 20 plus hours, the 100 hours you put into it, that was a tutorial. And now you get to fight the harder ones. And you get to try over and over again and figure out the best way to do it. And it's a lot of fun. It's really good. Than that, got some more The Old Republic on Star Wars Sundays. Been enjoying that. Got my speeder. We got my pod racer as my speeder bike. So we're ready to go into that. Just doing more of the Coruscant stuff, having fun. It's a great time. If you want to hang out with me on Sundays, twitch.tv/testingroomlive. Sunday mornings around 8 a.m. Central Standard Time.
It's been so fascinating to watch that game because it's an MMO that I have absolutely zero experience with. Like I never seen a second of that game outside of the cutscenes, or like the trailer cutscenes that they would show at the like shows and stuff. And so it's been interesting to see how deep it is, but it's also really cool because while it's not as populated as like, WoW or something,
still plenty of people running around.
There's still plenty of people running around, and so there's moments where like Preston will be running around, and then you'll see like 3-4 people just like come running through, and those be doing it. It's like, oh man, like there's still fucking people out here. Like it's cool.
And the thing I love, and I remember this from back then, but like, man, that voice acting still holds up. Like that, like all these, even the side stuff, like the Kit Fisto looking dude. Like I was talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, this company took my wife." And
in your Fisto.
Yeah, in your Fisto. And they're like, "What? Like God knows what they're making her do," and blah blah blah. And you go to the strip club, and she's like, "No, I just wanted to get away from him." He's like, "I just told him like just stop talking to him, and he thinks I'm kidnapped. So like, just tell him I left the planet." And it's just like all this is very very well the voice acted. And I just very surprised even for the side missions. It's very good. So it's helping me get through it, but also it's good all around. And as far as games, lastly, I did a dabble. I was, kind of putzing around on YouTube. I was watching Spike Vegeta do his, SNES run through of games. I'm just going through the line.
That guy, so Spike Vegeta, Preston and I have talked about it with GDQ and stuff. He's one of the showrunners. He also sometimes does speedruns, whatever. But the thing that you're talking about is while it's this SNES Mania thing where he is trying to play and beat every single SNES game ever created. It's like 989 of them. Yeah. In the order they came out, yeah. It's wild.
Mm-hmm. So I've been just going through that list and be like, if there's any game that I want to hit on and then go play
what's
right
their
out.
Name?
Spiked Vegeta.
Spiked Vegeta. Interesting. Does he just go all the time, like nonstop?
He does a lot of streaming, but it's that's not his. Like he does that. It's like it's like every Saturday I think is when he does it.
I don't watch his live.
That show.
I just been watching his VODs on the YouTube.
Yeah, which he has on YouTube and stuff. But yeah,
it's
I think
background stuff.
Yeah, but I think it's like every Saturday. Otherwise, he does. He's a Donkey Kong speedrunner, so most of his stuff is that he's practicing like Tropical Freeze and other shit.
Sure.
But
Gotcha.
But yeah, I've been
And
going
Kingdom
through
Hearts.
that, and I got to him starting to play Turtles in Time. And I'm watching this. I'm like, you know what? I just want to play Turtles in Time. I'm like, going like, where can I play Turtles in Time? Like Cowabunga Collection. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that was in Cowabunga Collection. I'm like, where can I get Cowabunga Collection? And then the little spark hit in my head. I'm like, bitch, you own that on the Xbox.
I was gonna say, I know you own that game.
I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, because I was on PS5 and I was watching YouTube. And I went to the library. I'm like, oh, it's not there. I'm like, okay, well, did it get on Switch? I'm like, no. I'm like, okay. And I found it on Xbox. I'm like, cool. So I downloaded that, played that for like an hour or so. Had a lot of fun time with that. Bro, Turtles in Time fucking holds up. I went back and forth between, because you can choose which version. Do you want to play the arcade version or do you want to play a SNES version? Arcade version is just fine. I'm a more SNES guy. That's just what I played back in the day. And the chip tune kind of like music they have for that, I think is just 1,000 times better. So there's no voice acting in it, but who cares? It's fucking game from the early 90s, late 80s. So yeah, as far as games, that's all I played. I did watch one show. I watched a lot of shows. Daredevil's still good, stuff like that. But a new show popped on HBO Max, which is also an Adult Swim show, which is Lazarus. This is from the creator of Cowboy Bebop. So I think it's him, and Mappa's doing the animation, and I think also the director of a John Wick is having a small part in that. I don't know if it's choreography or just helping produce it.
Right, I remember the trailer for this. This looked dope. Yeah,
yeah, it's great, and the first episode is really good. I enjoyed it. It's a nice
shocking.
Yeah, right, exactly. So it's a nice tone setter. Introduces a bunch of characters. I'm excited to see where that goes with that show. So if you're interested or if you loved Cowboy Bebop back in the day, jump on this 100%. It's worth it. You can get it through Max, or if you have any way of accessing Adult Swim, I know they have VOD somewhere to where you can also watch it there as well. So yeah, that is my week.
Nice. My week's super short, honestly. I played Monster Hunter with Christian. We have now, and Preston, both actually, separate and together, I think.
Yeah.
Each,
it was right before I left, and then we played today.
Yeah. So when the new monster came out, I now have the large and small gold crown of that monster, so I'm nearly back to 100%. They released a couple of gear sets. I got to finish off the gear sets and one weapon. But that's it. I love that game. I don't know what to say. I'm like Monster Hunter rank 227 or something stupid. I think by the time this game's life cycle is done, I might get close to Cap. Because what I've realized...
Is it 999?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the way Hunter rank typically goes is it keeps counting even when Master rank comes out, so you just have two separate ones.
Mm-hmm.
But the bars don't seem to really increase in experience.
So it doesn't get harder and harder at every level?
No, doesn't seem to. Like
now?
I can do a 2 monster hunt and it'll give me an entire level or level and a half as it would like at level 1 just at 220 whatever. Okay. So so it's actually pretty easy to progress. But yeah, I played that. I played Final Fantasy 14. So we also got my crafter and gather up to 100 in preparation for the next patch because they'll release some areas specific to those characters.
Okay.
Doing the dailies and stuff like that. And I think that's all that I played. Just bouncing between those two games. Seems... Oh, and I played a little bit more Pirate Yakuza. That's right. So I finally got my ship. I got my ship in Pirate Yakuza. It is very similar to Black Flag in the way the water combat works. It's being Yakuza or Like a Dragon. It's super cartoony. So like you can board certain ships if they have like a captain, like a big baddie. And it's just so funny and so cleverly written and ridiculous and over the top and somehow still makes perfect sense and makes it believable. And
sounds like a Yakuza game.
It's a Yakuza game. It's amazing. I beat chapter 1. I'm at the end of chapter 2. It's just now starting to open up, right? Like these games like to stay pretty linear for a bit until like midway, and then they just open it up and they're like, "Go do whatever you want. We'll see you back at the final chapter," right? Like, whatever. So yeah, it's great. I have nothing else to say. There was a point in Monster Hunter today, Christian and I were playing, where I came up to an event that I had never seen before. It was just like world event that's happening where they created. You're in the new gathering hub, and we just happened to be there right as night was turning to day, so the day-night cycle was changing. And out of nowhere, I hear this music, and I look up on this huge like pillar in the distance, surrounded by flames and fire. This woman is just doing a song and dance number. And when it's done, like, she ends and disappears in a flash of light, and the sun is all of a sudden out, and you get a buff. And I said to Christian after that happened, because the song was incredible and the whole event was pretty dope, and I was just like, well, I just think this game's #1 game of the year. Like, I don't even know if we should even do a Testies like top 10 definitive. Like, we know what #1 is.
But we still need to do 2 through 10.
I mean, I guess I don't foresee anything taking this down, and if it does, it's going to have to be an immaculate game this year. So we'll see. Christian, thinking of a game.
I'm pretty sure that. Huh?
You're thinking of something coming out later this year?
I was trying to think if there was something that we had saw that was coming out that we said, like, this is the only game that has a chance, but I can't remember. I'll look.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's just it's incredible. There's so much polish in this game everywhere, and like so much thought put in the game. So yeah,
polish, and
that's all.
After the textures pop in, sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, trust me, there's a lot.
It's not a perfect game. Let's be straight.
It's not in, yes, maybe not polish in the way like
in the
you
combat,
could polish in the game. Yeah, it's polished. Yes. It's polished in its thoughtfulness and like the details and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of jig when it comes to like just
everything else.
Yeah, because like I even had a texture pop today. I was at Gemma making some weapons, and like there's a little cutscene between like each like piece of armor or whatever, and it's fine. And like the 6th one I crafted, it came out, and like everything to the left of me was just like polygons, and it just popped in. I was like, all right.
Just throws me off when you're going to talk to Gemma, and like I'm going to talk to the pretty lady, and she looks like fucking Elephant Man because her textures haven't popped in, and her eyes are crooked, and she's like, God damn, girl. Beauty rest. All right.
I shouldn't, maybe not polish is the wrong word. Yeah. There's thoughtfulness everywhere in this game. It's
very well done gameplay ways.
Yeah. So cool. But yeah, that's all I've done, man. And this weekend, as Preston said, I'll be going to C2E2. I have a personal time off tomorrow, and I'll be headed there on Friday, and I'll be there on Saturday to see these guys. So I'm excited. I love this. I have comics in the back in the closet that I need to grab and take. And
yeah, I got a couple of mine pull out. Yeah.
First days of me day, man. I enjoy it. I just pop in headphones. I walk around the floor. I hit up a couple of panels and just see everything.
There you go.
So there we go. All right. Yeah. But that's our weeks. Don't forget to check in with us later this week as we have our part 1.
2. This is your video game book club. You should know.
I would think. Well, no, but I was confused of when we were talking about this drops earlier. So. It'll be part 2 of our video game book club on Black. Don't forget that we said we are tackling this in 3 parts. So this is levels 3, 4, and 5 of Black. We'll be finishing it up next week. So join us for that. We can't wait to talk about it. And with that, Preston, you know what to do.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.